There is a podcast that lies between the imagination of two simple-minded earthlings. Travel with these two longtime friends, Jimbo and 80s E, as they attempt to explore the fifth dimension. Follow along with them as they take the key and unlock the door to the vast space between shadow and substance. This podcast is one of trivia, of insight, and of sounds and ideas from one of the greatest television shows ever produced. You are embarking on a timeless journey. There is your signpost up ahead. You are entering the tragedy of cinema's Twilight Zone.
Submitted for your approval, the case of one Miss Agnes Grepp, put on Earth with 2 left feet, an overabundance of thumbs, and a propensity for falling down manholes. In a moment, she will be up to her jaw in miracles, wrought by apprentice angel Harmon Cavender, intent on winning his wings. And though it's a fact that both of them should have stood in bed, they will tempt all the fates by moving into the cold, gray dawn of the Twilight Zone.
All right, guys, welcome back to the Tragedy of Cinema podcast, the Twilight Zone series. I'm 1/3 of your host, Jimbo, and I'm joined with...
Hey, this is Bond down in Texas.
This is 80s E, residing on the northwest side of Indy.
Guys, we are inching ever so close to the end of season 3 of the Twilight Zone.
I know.
It's only been 5 years in the making so far.
Yeah, we're not doing too bad.
Somebody takes vacations for 6 months and then let's get back to recording.
Yeah, I wonder, I have to go back and look how long season 3 itself has taken. I bet it's taken over a year and a half just by itself.
It's probably taken longer than it did to do the other 2 seasons.
Probably. Yeah.
But tonight we are going to be talking about one of Eric's favorite episodes of the Twilight Zone.
Yeah, not so much.
Starring the legendary actress Carol Burnett. You guys a big Carol Burnett fan?
I'll let Bond go first.
Hey, man, Carol Burnett's a comedy legend.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, especially if you think of female comedians, and I can't really name that many female comedians that had their own show, and it'd be really successful like this. And hey, pretty good.
Yeah, I would say she's probably on the Mount Rushmore of female comedians for sure, but I don't know if this episode in particular puts her in such a great light. You probably wouldn't throw her up there after this episode, but
I'll tell you what put her in a great light is that Gone with the Wind scene she did where she puts the curtains on. That's Scarlett. Have you seen that from the Carol Burnett show?
That's her classic. That's her classic look.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I always remember her from Mama's Family.
Oh, yeah.
As Eunice, the daughter. Yeah.
I loved Mama's Family. Well, Mama.
Yeah.
That's funny.
But let me go ahead and give you a little summary about what this episode's about, if you don't mind. So, of course, Twilight Zone's going right back into try to do a little bit of comedy again in the Twilight Zone.
Yep.
But awkward and chronically unlucky Agnes Grepp, played by none other than Carol Burnett, struggles through life with a trail of mishaps, firings, and social stumbles. Her guardian angel, Harmon Cavender, played by Jesse Weidel, is sent down from heaven with one last chance to earn his wings. His mission, improve Agnes's life and make her genuinely happy within 24 hours. Cavender transforms her world, giving her wealth, a lavish apartment, high society friends, and instant popularity. But Agnes is miserable. The world of elegance feels artificial, and she longs for her modest life, clumsy job, and quirky neighbors. Ultimately, Agnes realizes this happiness isn't something Cavender can magically provide. It's something she already had. Seeing this, Cavender restores her to her original life, though she's still bumbling through it. Agnes is now content, and Cavender earns partial redemption for helping her discover what truly matters.
And cut. No.
Thank you for listening.
That was Cavender's coming.
That was a great summary.
And that is Jimbo is going.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll launch in and let's learn a few little facts and details. Maybe we can learn something about this episode. It's the Twilight Zone. It's season number 3, and as Jimbo said earlier, we're closing in on the end of the season. We're at episode number 36 in season 3. It was directed by Christian. I don't know if this is Nyby, Nyby, Nighy, not exactly sure. It was directed by him, though, and it was written by Rod Serling. And we have some featured music by Horst Janikowski. There's another name.
Was he a kicker for the
I don't know.
Las Vegas Raiders?
Yeah, I don't know. Janikowski. Yeah, that's right. I forgot about him. He was a good, pretty big dude, too. So he gave us some of our music here, music score. The original air date for this episode was May the 25th, 1962. And you know what time it is, folks? The time in the episode, our favorite segment, the segment we like to call On This Day in History. All right. So on this day in history, let's go back and learn some fun facts about May the 25th, shall we? Let's go all the way back to 1932. Maybe you guys will know some of these things. Well, you guys are pretty smart. You probably will know a lot of these. 1932, Goofy, or AKA Dippy Dog, he first appears in Mickey's Review by Walt Disney all the way back in 1932. So I didn't know that his original name was Dippy Dog.
Gosh.
That's good. So May 25th, 1935. Oh, this is a good one. Legendary American athlete Jesse Owens equals or breaks 4 world records in 45 minutes at a Big Ten meet. This was at Ferry Field in Ann Arbor, Michigan, remembered as the greatest 45 minutes ever in sport. So
that's amazing.
Yeah, that's crazy. I think didn't he go to Ohio State? Is that right? I don't know.
Well, you've already said Ann Arbor and Ohio State.
Well, yeah, we have to close it down.
Closed everything else out you're going to say.
One other interesting fact. The Indianapolis Colts just played over in Berlin, Germany, which was the same stadium, I believe this is correct, that Jesse Owens in the might have been the 32 Olympics, right in front of Adolf Hitler, who had the superior race. So he thought broke every Olympic and world record right in front of his face and stuck it to him. So I thought that was pretty cool. But the Colts,
that solid fist salute,
right?
Didn't they also like steal his shoes or one of his running shoes, and he was running in like 2 different shoes or something?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I'm not really sure, but
one of the two,
barefoot maybe. Maybe it was barefoot.
That's ridiculous,
like that.
Dude.
I know. So Jesse Owens, outstanding, amazing athlete. And that was 1935. May 25th, 1977, Jimbo's favorite television show debuts, The Brady Bunch. Oh, actually, it was their last episode aired in 1977. Pardon me. The Brady Bunch. You guys a fan of The Brady Bunch?
I love The Brady Bunch.
Yeah. Here's a story.
Yeah. 6 kids.
We all watched The Brady Bunch.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
It's always Marsha.
Right. When she gets hit with the football.
Nose.
Who was your favorite Brady?
Oh, Marsha, of course.
Peter.
Mine was Alice.
I like Cousin Oliver. Cousin Oliver. Yeah.
Cousin Oliver.
Bond's over there. Bond, you want to say, go ahead and make the change.
Right.
It's time to change.
I think that didn't that song make it on the Billboard Top 100? I think it did.
Yeah, they got a whole like record out with gotta keep on dancing all through the night.
Yeah, they were trying to compete with the Partridge Family.
Day.
So
a lot of Brady Bunch tunes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So May 25th, 1977, in the same year. Here's a big one: the original Star Wars movie, Episode 4, A New Hope, directed by George Lucas and starring Mark Hamill, Carrie Fisher, Harrison Ford. It premieres on May the 25th, 1977. All
right, 80s. Where do you place Episode 4, Star Wars, and the 1 through 9? Where are you putting it out of the 9 movies?
Oh, man. I don't like any of the prequels personally, but I'm not as big of a Star Wars guy as probably you guys are. You guys have vast knowledge about Star Wars and Lord of the Rings. I'm probably going to say The Return of the Jedi. That's probably one of my favorites.
Number 1?
Yeah, I'm going to put Return
Where are you
of the Jedi.
putting this one? The one that came out?
Probably second. Probably the second.
Well, I think you're wrong because I think number 1 is obviously Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah. Why? Because that's the first one that you saw out of the series?
Well, no, it's the first one that the bad guys actually win.
Yeah.
And you find out that Vader is Luke's father. Spoiler alert. No, it's not true.
Yeah.
And then probably this one, and then probably Return of the Jedi. The original three are probably still my favorite. You can put them in any order, and I'll still watch them.
Yeah.
And you know what?
You know
Prequels
what?
are growing on me. They're really growing on me compared to those last three we shot. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I'll let Bond jump in here, but I
you
think
give those prequels 30 years, and hey,
Yeah.
you know, they're starting to look pretty good.
I think The Force Awakens. I changed my. I think The Force Awakens is really good. It's one or two.
And cut.
No. That's a good one. What do you think, Bond? What do you?
You got to say this: New Hope, 1977, probably number 2. I think Empire Strikes Back's just the best one.
Yeah.
Only because they have the snow, the planet Hoth, and they're like in the snowstorm, and it's the first time you see them not like in their, I don't know, pajama robes that they always walk around in.
Right.
And so this one, they're actually like walking around in like full parkas, and they're on different planets and all that kind of stuff.
I'm telling you what, the Phantom Menace is growing on me too. That's really good. Some of the best fight scenes with Darth Maul and Qui-Gon and all them. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
Go back and give them another shot there, 80s.
Yeah, well, I've got plenty of time on my hands. Right? Yeah. Well, we're doing everything.
Podcasting.
We're doing everything we can to stay away from Cavender is coming. I can see we're trying to derail this train. Yeah. So let's quickly move through these last ones, and we can get on to our cast. So May 25th, 1979, the horror film Alien. Okay, that debuted. That's another good one. We could talk about that one. Well, we just talked about Return of the Jedi. Well, on the same date in 1983, guess what? Return of the Jedi. It debuted. May 25th, 1989. Weird Al Yankovic records a parody song. She drives like crazy. So good old Weird Al gave us some history today.
Do you like Weird Al out there, Eric?
Oh yeah, man. The Eat It.
Man,
I think
funny.
Eat It was the first Weird Al song I heard, and I was probably like 8 years old, and I thought it was the funniest thing in the world.
Have you ever heard Stuck in a Drive-Thru?
I don't think I've heard that one.
I recommend it.
Oh, you have to watch it. The video is like 7.5 minutes long, but it's so funny.
All animated. It's hilarious.
Yeah, Amish Paradise. That was a good one.
Oh yeah.
May 25th, 1992, Mr. Jay Leno becomes a permanent talk host of the U.S. television show The Tonight Show. He replaced Johnny Carson, of course. And finally, May 25th, 2011, Oprah Winfrey airs her very last show. Oh, let's all cry tears of sadness as she
So what
ended.
you're saying is every bit of entertainment history came out on this day.
I know, this
And
chocked full.
Cavender came out on this day.
I know. I mean, what are the odds? So she had just to finish up, she had a 25-year run on the self-named Oprah Winfrey Show. A lot of famous people were born on this day too. One, Ralph Waldo Emerson, Ian McKellen, actor Mike Myers, and Cecilian Murphy. I'm not so familiar with 1976 when she was born. Irish actor. It's a guy. Sorry.
He's the guy that plays the Scarecrow.
Oh,
in the Batman movie.
Yes. Okay, now I know. Now I'm with you. And it says here, Peaky Blinders and Oppenheimer. He was in Oppenheimer, right?
There you go.
So 28 days later. I just didn't recognize the name. But Bond, why don't you tell us about this cast of our episode this evening? Cavender is coming.
So the cast list has more stars than the episode itself. Because this thing's actually got a lot of people in it. It's got Jesse White. You know him from the Maytag commercials where he sits around and does absolutely nothing because Maytags never break down. He was in It's a Mad, 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 Mad World.
Yep.
And he was in The Cat from Outer Space. Of course, this movie also has Carol Burnett, star of The Carol Burnett Show from 1967 to 1978.
Whoa.
You're talking 11, 12 years that show ran. And for those of you who were probably not born when this show, Carol Burnett Show, came out, it was a sketch comedy show. So they would do little sketch comedies, little 3 or 4 minute comedy routines. They were hilarious.
But let's face it, Tim Conway was the star of that show, man.
Yeah, Tim Conway was great on that episode. You know,
I think Vicki Lawrence, we referenced Mama's Family. I think Vicki Lawrence was on the Carol Burnett show originally,
there's
too.
a lot of people.
They played together.
You ever seen the one? I think it actually is Mama on the couch where he starts talking about the elephants.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's where the whole Mama's Family comes from. Yeah, Mama's Family comes from the Carol Burnett show.
Oh, so it was a sketch out of the Carol Burnett show. Okay.
Exactly. And also, I recognize, I mean, other than just the obvious show, she's also in the movie Annie.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, right? Yeah. Yep.
She plays like the
We love
lady
you,
that
Miss
takes care.
Hannigan.
Yeah, she plays the Miss Hannigan, which is funny. It has Howard Smith. He was in No Time for Sergeants. Roy Sickner is in this one. He's in Planet of the Apes. We also have the voice of Piglet on this episode. John Fielder, who was in 12 Angry Men, is also the voice of Piglet from the Winnie and the Pooh. It has, if you look closely, you'll see Mrs. Kravitz from Bewitched in this episode, played by Sandra Gold. Very briefly, you'll see Donna Douglas.
No way.
She
really?
is at the party. She walks by. She has one line. For those that don't know, Donna Douglas plays Ellie Mae on the Beverly Hillbillies. And she has like one line. She comes in and says one thing. Also, there's another actress or actor named Maurice Delamore. He was in a lot of Batman episodes, and he was also a regular on The Monkees. So that's our cast. Like I said, lots of faces you see that are familiar. Lots of names that are familiar, but...
Yeah. Heavy hitters in 1960s television, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Before we move on with the outline, I would be remiss if I didn't talk about the production cost of this particular episode because, boy, oh boy, it's up there. Guys, check this out, $93,865.33 for this episode. Whew. And with a 5.3 rating on IMDb, it's not rated very highly, of course. But I'll just read this little snippet here. It says, unlike most Twilight Zone episodes, Cavender is Coming was produced as a pilot for a potential half-hour comedy series starring Jesse White as the bumbling guardian angel Harmon Cavender. That meant that the show was filmed with a live studio audience and, yes, a laugh track, unlike the usual Twilight Zone format. So I think in the subsequent recordings, though, they took the laugh track out. But I guess in the original, filming and stuff, there was a laugh track and live audience and all that stuff. So they built new sets, lighting, sound, camera, and all new setups and stuff to suit the multi-camera comedy style way they shot comedies back then, I guess. And there was extra rehearsal time and production support that were required to coordinate the hybrid comedy drama style. And all this added considerably to the production budget. So as it relates to dates of rehearsal, there was only one, but the dates of filming are as follows. January the 23rd, 24th, 25th, 26th, all the way through January 29th of 1962. So they really put a lot of time, money, effort, and resources to try to get this thing off the ground. And thank goodness it didn't make it. But what do you guys think about that? That's pretty crazy that I don't know
let's talk about the laugh track. Do you like the laugh track in old TV shows or cartoons?
I do. I mean, I like it. I think it's kind of kitschy.
It's okay.
For me, I think my favorite
is when they would go to Scooby-Doo and they would be like...
Crazy.
Man.
Crazy.
What do you got? You got a hot air balloon over there? A helium balloon?
I ain't doing nothing, Bob.
Messing with your machine over there.
Where it would be on Bond's microphone when he started to speak. But I was like, I can't. I'm not that talented yet on this thing.
Trying to sabotage me, man.
Yeah, I
want to live in an alternate universe where Cavender is Coming is a hit sitcom in the 1960s.
Yeah, I mean, what could they do really just the whole concept. It seems like Rod was obsessed. He really wanted this type of series because what was it? Not Mr. Dingle. I think I have it in my notes later. Mr. Beavis. That's what it was. He tried to get almost the same concept, the same type of show off the ground with a multi-episode series, and it never got picked up. So I mean,
let's face it. If this was more of a serious episode that were used from the Twilight Zones, it could have been a huge hit. I mean, think about Highway to Heaven. It's basically the same thing.
Yeah, Touched by an Angel.
Right.
Yeah, I guess the bones are there, but it just, I don't know, for whatever reason, it never.
Because you wouldn't be going to visit Carol Burnett every week. He'd be going to travel to see different people.
Right.
I'm sure.
No,
I mean, although she could use the help every week, I'm sure.
That's true.
Yeah. All right, well, let's launch into this episode. Act number 1, The Problem. I entitled this The Problem with Agnes Grepp. So we have an introduction to Miss Agnes Grepp. She's a kind but hopelessly clumsy young woman who can't hold a job and constantly causes accidents wherever she goes. Her good intentions always lead to chaos. And then we have a shift to what we call the heavenly realm. And in the afterlife, a well-meaning but bumbling angel named Harmon Cavender, he's on probation. And he's given one last chance to earn his wings by proving he can help someone improve their life. And his assignment is to help Agnes find happiness and success. If he fails, he will be demoted. So I got a little clip here. Let's listen to the clip here. I entitled this clip The Clod, and then we'll get the assignment after that. So.
You sent for me, Keith?
Apprentice Angel Cavender, it has come to our attention that you are the only angel of your class not to have won your wings. It has further come to our attention that you are a clod. Before reclassifying you, we're going to give you one more chance.
Nice-looking girl, Chief.
Precisely. And she will be your project. You will return to Earth and supply her aid, assistance, and advice for a period of 24 hours. If you are able to improve her lot, we will reopen your case.
All right, so there you go. What sticks out for you guys in these opening scenes? Anything?
Well, I think they should have watched It's a Wonderful Life. Somebody should just ring a bell and he would have got his wings, right?
Right. A lot of the same concepts, right?
Right.
I was thinking the exact same thing as I was watching this. I was like, this is just It's a Wonderful Life.
Yep.
Done poorly. Well, done in 20 minutes instead of 2 hours.
Nice. Yeah, for real. Yeah, I don't have anything really either.
I love the wings. Did you see the wings that they had? They were like little mosquito wings on their shoulders.
Who was the angel like sitting in the doorway behind Cavender as the camera?
Receptionist angel?
Yeah. I thought that was, I don't know why that stuck out, but I think, and I may be ahead of myself here, but the funniest thing to me is like when Agnes runs out, I think this is a little further in the episode, and like she's gotten fired from her job after the ridiculous running through the mirror, and she gets fired from her job or whatever, and she's walking out to get on the bus, and the lady coming off the bus runs over her and knocks her into the bus stop bench or whatever. I mean, that was the best. That was the best part of the episode for me. I don't know. It was just little thing there, and that was probably the highlight.
The whole thing had like goofy sound effects too. Like when they ran into something, you'd hear wah, wah, or something. You know, like
even
it was the whole episode just had these weird sound effects added to like scenes and stuff.
Yeah, that was Janikowski, I guess. Maybe that was his sound effects stuff.
I did like the music right there that you just played for us, though. That was pretty fun.
Yeah, it's like little, I don't know what you call it, but happy, sprightly music that played us in.
Are we to the part yet where the box office manager goes through the hand signals?
We're about to get to that now.
Okay, because when we get to that, that's great.
So Cavender, so he descends from Earth, but before we get to that, we have these instructions that are given by the theater manager, Mr. Stout, and I really don't have a lot of notes that pertain to that. So Bond, you can just fill us in on a lot of the details of what happens in those scenes.
He lines up all the employees who are wearing these goofy outfits with this ridiculous thing on their head that looks like sparkles. It looks like a sparkler's going off on their hair. Mm-hmm. And they line them all up military style. And he goes over the hand signals. And the hand signals, to me, are the best part of the whole episode.
Yeah.
Because he, like, tickles his palm. He's like, if I tickle my palm like this, that means come to the center. If I shoot one, it means shoot it to the balcony. Or shoot two.
Right.
He's got these crazy hand signals. This means the concession stand. He does, like, this sparkle thing with his fingers. And then, after he gives them all these ridiculous hand signals, he goes, Janice, you, so-and-so, and so-and-so. And then he just does the hand signals, and he, like, does the sparkles, and everybody, like, takes off. It's just hilarious that everybody's got, like, he's got this weird system. Instead of just telling them, you know, you're in charge of the balcony. You're selling popcorn. You'll be in the box office.
Which I think, when I get to my notes, this was basically a play on Carol Burnett's real life. I guess she actually did. That was one of her first jobs, was cool. In the movie theater like that. I don't know if she was a ticket taker per se. But yeah, I think I have in my notes later that she specifically asked for that to be written into the episode. And actually one of the people that the theater manager names he calls out is Burnett as
he
one
does
of the
say
people.
Burnett.
Yeah, so I think that was put in especially for her. And of course, as the kids say, she has a crashing out when she's collecting all the tickets and all the people start flooding in and she doesn't know where to put them. It's like her first day on the job. And then what happens after that? She like panics, right? And then runs through.
Yeah, she takes a handful of tickets to like the girls selling popcorn. She says, what am I supposed to do with all of these?
Right.
And the girl's like, I don't know.
Right.
Which I thought was weird because it's like, okay, you're in charge of taking tickets, but they don't give her like a bucket to put the tickets in or some kind of container. She's just supposed to hold the tickets in her hand, I guess.
Yeah, so
she panics.
The height of slapstick comedy is when she crashes through that mirror into the theater manager's office, and of course she gets fired. And then we come to like really the highlighted scene is what I just wrote this down. The highlighted scene for Act 1 is the arrival of Cavender. As Agnes trudges home after losing another job, she bumps into a person and lands on the bus stop bench. We talked about that. Cavender appears from heaven and lands in the bus seat next to Agnes. The two lock eyes. She thinks he's a lunatic. He insists he's her guardian angel. Their awkward exchange, part slapstick and part sincerity, sets the tone for the episode's mix of humor and heart. So, and she tells him, the bus, it's a quarter now. And he was like, I don't know. Then like the next scene, I think he tells her, what was it? He was, I'm going to put you in a convertible or something like that. How would you like to ride in a convertible? And then
the chauffeur.
Yeah, and then they switch to a stagecoach, and then he finally gets it right. And what does he do? Like he rubs his palm of his hand, and then
he takes his thumb.
His thumb. Yeah,
rubs it in the palm of his hand, and somehow that activates his angel powers.
All right. Yeah. So not a whole lot here that really sticks out. Other than let's not forget about the 2.0 slapstick where the bus driver says, well, if the manager calls, tell him, I forget what the line is, but then he jumps out the window, jumps through the glass. So I
didn't understand that at all.
I know.
I was like, what is this?
Like, we're just jumping through windows for jumping through windows' sake at this point. Like, I don't.
Exactly.
Now, let me ask you a question right here. Let me interject something.
Yep.
Carol Burnett never worked with the Three Stooges. Okay. I think this episode, if you would have put the Three Stooges in the spot where Carol Burnett was at in this, it probably would have worked because that's what kind of comedy they did. And I could see it going a lot better. Can you imagine it with the Three Stooges?
It would still stink.
Yeah, I don't know if they might be able to elevate it a little bit.
Save anything.
Again, it was just this idea. I think that he just tried to shoehorn in, and then he wrote all the special parts, and maybe it looked better on paper, but when it was, I don't know.
Was the episode brought to you by like Scott Glass? You got broken glass? Bring it to Scott Glass.
Yeah, I don't know.
So they like implemented broken glass throughout the whole episode right before the commercial breaks.
Yeah. Well, let's move on to Act 2. and I entitled this The Wish Fulfilled. So we've got some rising action, and like the episode Mr. Beavis, Agnes is loved by all of her neighbors, especially the kids. Now, that's one part of the episode that I really liked. She greeted all the kids and gave them cookies, and she knew all of her neighbors and was handing out recipes. Just a lovable, the neighbor that anybody would want to have. She is that gal. So that's a bright point in the episode. Then we have an instant transformation. Using his angelic powers, Cavender magically grants Agnes wealth and status. She becomes an elegant socialite with luxurious mansions, servants, and sophisticated friends. And the one guy that keeps coming up, ravishing, darling, absolutely ravishing. That guy.
That's Bond.
My mon ami.
But before she gets to this big old party, I think Cavender fattens her bank account, right? He takes her bank book, and now it's got like 40 grand in there, and she's...
That was hilarious because she's like independently wealthy.
Yeah.
And he opens the bank book, and it's like, look, you have 23,704.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, what they called independently wealthy back in the early 60s.
Oh, man. Yeah, don't get me started about going off the gold standard and all that under Nixon and inflation. Oh, man, we could go on for days and days. But there is initial excitement now that she is high society, and she enjoys her new surroundings at first, but quickly realizes that this high society world feels cold and pretentious and lonely, right? She likes to go bowling on Thursday nights. She doesn't want to hang with these people, and they're just the worst. Like, just...
Yeah, they're all fake.
Shallow as a mud puddle, right? They're all super fake. And Cavender struggles. You know, Cavender's loving it because he's making his martinis and everything. He's drinking and having a good time. Cavender tries to manage Agnes's new life, but his inexperience as an angel and human misunderstanding, it leads to sort of more humorous results, if you want to call them humorous. But we kind of have a turning point, right? Agnes admits that she's unhappy despite her newfound riches. She misses her old friends, right, from her apartment complex and her simple life where people accepted her and her, despite really her clumsiness. And just a highlighted scene here, and I'll let you guys talk amongst yourself. Really, the highlighted scene of Act 2 is like the ballroom breakdown. Eventually, she asks Cavender to return to her old humble life where her friends are genuine and she feels truly herself. Eventually, she asks Cavender to return and, again, just wants to go back to her humble life where she genuinely feels herself. And you kind of get the scene of like the aftermath of a big, huge party, and there's champagne glasses all over the floor of this really swanky apartment and streamers everywhere, but it's not her, man. It's not Agnes.
Yeah, she didn't know anybody at the party. She didn't have anybody to talk to, but everybody thought she was the life of the party, and
Yeah, when she goes up to the what was it, the famous movie star, and she's like, "Oh, I've loved you in everything that you've always been in," and just kind of dismissive of her, and which is kind of odd. If she's part of high society, you would think that the movie star would want to rub elbows with her, but
the movie star was at her house and at her party, so you would think so.
It's sort of disrespectful, isn't it, that she would just sort of blow her off like that.
5 or 6 guys all fawning over her too. So
yeah, true. All right, act number 3. Let's talk about the climax of this episode. Agnes's decision to ask Cavender to take her back to her old life, preferring genuine connection over superficial success. Now, this is Cavender's risk because if he restores her to her old circumstances, he's knowing this, it might cost him his wings because she's technically he thinks in the eyes of those heavenly bodies that she's not better off technically in his viewpoint. But the resolution in heaven, the higher ups review Cavender's performance, and they realize Agnes is actually happier now, and she's found meaning in being herself. And Cavender is rewarded for understanding the true nature of happiness. And then we have a closing scene where Agnes, she ends up back at her modest apartment, and again she knows the milkman and where before I neglected to leave out a scene where she returned to her old apartment in the intermediate phase, right? And no one knew her. The milk guy didn't know her. None of her neighbors knew who she was. And what did one guy say to her? What are you slumming around here or something like that? Like wisecrack.
She's still wearing her party dress from the night before. And
exactly.
I think somebody else is living in her apartment now.
Right.
Apartment.
And rolled up in a big Rolls Royce, and she's got nice furs on and everything. And they're like, what are you doing in this part of town? And then sort of the highlight scene, I thought this was a pretty good scene. And at the end of the episode, the out the window goodbye, right? She sticks her head out of her old apartment, and she's back where she began in her little modest apartment. It's cluttered but cozy, filled with the humdrum of life and laughter. She's once again poor, clumsy, and working class, but now she's happy. And her friends from the building and all the crowd around, they welcome her back. And someone jokes about her bad luck, and she laughs right along with them. And then there's, returning to the warmth, noise, and genuine affection of real life that she missed during her taste of life of luxury. All right. Final thoughts, things you liked in the last part of the episode. I mean, there's not a whole lot. I know I'm trying to get.
I did like when she went back to her old apartment complex, and she was complaining that nobody knew who she was, and the kids didn't know who she was, and it was kind of sad. And then, but when she goes back, she's really happy with her lifestyle. I was tripping over the fact of, so does Cavender, the sitcom, would that be every episode he doesn't get the job done, but yet somehow it happens? I mean,
it's a good question.
How would the sitcom itself work itself out?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question.
Because he doesn't do anything.
Yeah, let me see. I don't know.
He pretty much just realizes, she realizes herself, but she was happy before.
Right.
So he gets his wings for doing a happy person happiness.
For doing nothing, basically.
Yeah,
right. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, he didn't do much of anything.
I mean, he learned something. He learned that, hey, you can be poor and happy and content.
Right.
But I don't see how that he didn't help her at all.
Yeah, it just harkens back for me to the story of Mr. Beavis, where he kind of was a clod himself, where he was an eccentric, and I don't know if you guys remember that episode, but he had all these collectible stuffed animals and
squirrels and stuff on his desk.
Yeah, and his apartment was just an utter wreck, but he was friends with all of his neighbors. The themes were all pretty much there in that episode as well. That is the heartwarming, I guess, part of the episode. And, there is a moral to the story, I guess, that money doesn't automatically equal happiness. I mean, you can obviously take that away. But let's dive into some trivia points, unless you guys have any more.
Oh, I got a couple of trivia points.
Give them to us.
So initially, the role of Cavender was offered to Wally Cox. Do you know who that is, Bond?
Name sounds familiar.
He was the voice of Underdog.
Nice.
Underdog. So, but he turned it down, and he didn't want to play a celestial being.
Oh.
So it obviously went to Jesse White. All of Agnes's high society party guests were CBS executives' spouses. So to keep the budget low, right?
Yeah.
So they had network office staff, spouses, secretaries, advertising department employees. Only 3 were professional actors. So,
okay.
I mean, would you take a background scene just to be like, hey, I was in an episode of the Twilight Zone? Sure, you would.
Yeah, with Carol Burnett, sure.
Yeah.
The original costume for the Cavender had giant wings, but it tested poorly. They said it had, and he also had a glowing halo effect. Can you imagine this with a glowing halo? But Rod hated that. He thought it made the show look like a children's Christmas play. So the wings were removed the day before filming. So got the big wings and said, I think I would have rather seen the big wings than the little bitty.
The little mosquito wings were terrible.
Yeah.
This is the fastest Twilight Zone episode ever rewritten. Serling rewrote more than half the script in less than 48 hours.
Well, it shows.
After CBS's demand, he put in the demand was more comedy, a broader tone, a tighter pilot concept. So the initial version was much darker and more philosophical. So who knows what that first one?
Yeah, I'd like to see the first one. Yeah.
Cavender's headquarters was a redress set from The Untouchables.
Oh, okay.
So the brief heavenly office scene at the beginning was not built for the episode. It was reused from a federal office scene in The Untouchables, and the glowing effects were added later. The episode was originally titled The Angel's Apprentice. There was also 2 early titles, so it was that one and also Heaven's Rookie. So
both are better titles.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Both are better.
To emphasize the character's future sitcom potential. So Burnett admitted that she would have declined the full sitcom if CBS had picked it up. She loved the episode, but felt her future was in sketch comedy, not sitcom acting. And that's where I have a problem, because it wouldn't have been about her anyway. So why would she, unless she's trying this whole time to get her wings and she just never gets them, or you know what I mean, or ever tries to help her.
Right.
And also,
it could have been like a buddy comedy where he gets another assignment, then he goes to get her, and then she helps him solve the problem of the week. Yeah.
Yeah. So the laugh track, Rod Serling hated that. There's a whole big thing about the laugh track. I'm sure Eric has notes on that.
Yeah, I won't bore us with all of it. I'll just cherry pick some of the stuff.
Much, but some of the scenes are slightly shorter. One line of Cavender dialogue is missing, and Agnes's pratfall is trimmed. And also, she did 70% of her own stunts, like 70% of her own. She had free will to do whatever she wanted, comic wise. So, like they said, 70% of that was it. The episode was filmed back to back with the next episode, The Changing of the Guard. So she remembers seeing Donald Pleasance on set preparing for a sentimental role while she was in a comedic angel pilot. The joke about how widely different their episodes were.
Yeah, no kidding.
Her 24-hour happiness deadline was inspired by It's a Wonderful Life, which we had talked about a little bit. There was going to be a planned running gag that was it was cut for being too edgy. So in Serling's early script draft, Cavender tries to fix Agnes' life by staging a fake miracle, accidentally knocking out her landlord, fixing it with time reversals.
Oh my.
CBS cut it because they feared slapstick violence involving angels would upset religious viewers. They said this was Jesse White's favorite role of his career. He said he got to be both cosmic and incompetent. One unused ending had Cavender getting promoted anyway. There was 3 endings that were written. Number 1, Cavender got his wings. Number 2, Cavender gets demoted, which I think would have been funnier. And then Cavender stays on Earth as Agnes's invisible assistant, which if you would have went that route, I could see that being the sitcom, which I think that's what they ultimately were going to do. So that's just my little bit of trivia I found. So you can take over now, Eric.
Yeah. I'll throw in a few more. We touched on this already a little bit, but we already talked about the laugh track, right? So Rod Serling wrote the episode specifically for Carol Burnett, and it incorporates her own experience as a 15-year-old cinema usherette. That's what they were called, I guess, back then. Then
down from the Rockette
to usherette, demotion, right? Well, this goes into a little bit of the story behind her boss, I think. In her youth, Carol Burnett, Agnes Grepp, she was fired, from a job as an usher at Hollywood's Warner Brothers Theater, which was owned by an eccentric man who forbade the usherettes from speaking to him and communicated exclusively with hand signals. At her request, her star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame was placed directly in front of the theater's former address at Hollywood and Wilcox. So I thought that was kind of neat. So she got fired. So apparently this manager, his mannerisms and everything come straight out of her own personal life. This was voted as being one of the most hated episodes of the series. This is the first time in the series that Rod Serling says submitted for your approval. So that's kind of interesting, I guess. Rod Serling does not provide his usual plug for the following episode. Sorry I don't have a preview for The Changing of the Guard because there isn't one. Carol Burnett was billed as a special guest star for this episode, but because the proposed series was designed as a starring vehicle for Jesse White, he received the top billing for this episode. And production costs aside, the pilot was almost doomed when during the last week of May 1962, a man named Ray Williford at MGM claimed that in 1954, he developed a concept for a television series called Guardian Angels, Inc. Here we go again with another one of these people who is saying Rod stole his idea, which was in essence the basic format of the episode. Williford claimed that in 1957, during the production of Saddle the Wind, on which he worked and Serling scripted, he discussed this format with Serling on the set. So, and we have a critic, television critic Leonard Hoff, man of the Tucson Daily Citizen, commented about this episode. The humor comes off as a bit too mild, as she portrays an optimistic girl who loses jobs and easily as she makes friends. Jesse White gets the most out of his role as an apprentice angel who sees a chance to earn his wings by keeping her from being fired again. He says fairly amusing and delightfully so at the end, so he wasn't too hard on it. Probably not like we're going to be in this episode, so I'll spin the wheel. Thoughts, feelings, ratings. Jimbo's.
It landed on 80Z. How amazing was that?
I have one sentence. Cavender is Coming is a fable about happiness, humility, and the beauty of imperfection wrapped in a comedy of celestial errors. So it's a wah for me. It's a 5. I mean, Carol Burnett, I respect her. She's on the top of the list of female comedians, Hall of Famer, star on the Walk of Fame. Her popularity in the 60s and 70s is undeniable. She's an absolute giant in the industry. She's still alive. She's still with us, I believe, right? Am I right?
Yeah.
She's like 90-something years old. So an absolute giant in television history. This one just didn't make it for me. So that's it.
That might be the lowest one you've ever rated.
Maybe.
Not low. Even Mr. Dingle the Strong got higher than that, I think.
Well, yeah.
A 5 isn't even that low. That's average.
Yeah.
Oh, Bond's about to break the show.
5 out of 10. Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Oh, man. You know what I liked about this episode?
Nothing.
I liked her facial expressions. They would zoom in on Carol Burnett's face, and she has this like wacky facial expressions. Or she'll roll her eyes at the camera.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, that's where her comic genius kind of stuck out, where you could tell that, okay, she's a professional comedian. This episode, oh my, it's bad. It's just, there's not anything good about this. You know what the best part about this episode is? Carol Burnett carries she carries 2 full chocolate bars and a cookie in her purse at all times.
Oh, yeah.
She comes home from her apartment, and the kids run out. Do you have any candy for us? I'm thinking she's going to pull out a little hard candy.
A mint or something.
Something she picked up along. No. She pulls out these full-size Hershey
Halloween candy,
bars
man.
for each kid. And then the littlest kid in the apartment complex goes, "I broke my cookie." And that's like a half a cookie. She goes, "Well, then we're just going to have to get you a new cookie." And she pulls out her purse. Bam, full-size cookie. Perfect. That she's been able to not break all day long. Carries it in her purse. That, to me, was the most impressive part of this episode. Was the amount of that, and she could just whip out that recipe. You'll need 1 egg and half a stick of butter. Like, wow, pretty impressive. I give this episode a 4. And it's stretching only because it has some legendary actors and actresses in it. That gets it to a 4. I thought the production value was poor. With or without a laugh track, I don't think it helped it out either way. My prop piece would probably be one of the candy bars.
Oh, yeah.
Get like the little headdress thing that she wears. But yeah, this one's painful. It's got to be one of the lowest episodes of season 3, for sure.
Yeah. Jimbo?
Well, fellas, I'm just going to say this.
It's my favorite. I love it.
We've seen some really, really great episodes of the Twilight Zone. We've seen some middle-of-the-road episodes, and we've seen some really, really bad ones. Just when you think the Twilight Zone is turning the corner and trying to get away from comedy, they come right back and prove us all wrong once again that they are still going to try to have a comedic relief in the Twilight Zone. Carol Burnett, I've always liked her. She's always been a little goofy to me, like almost over the top, you know, for slapstick comedy. Mm-hmm. I'm a big Three Stooges fan. Laurel and Hardy, I love them. I love Abbott and Costello. There's a lot of that comedy I like. There's just something about comedy when it comes to the Twilight Zone that just doesn't work. And again, this was written and rewritten by Rod Serling, but of course, I would have loved to seen what his original script entailed instead of what they made him put out. It might have been better. Might, and I say that loosely.
Yeah.
But, you know, not taking anything away from Carol Burnett or Cavender, I'm probably going to give this a 4.5, 4.5, not a 4 or 5, just because I can be in between both of you and argue both of your points, like Bond would always do to us. Well, you know, wait a minute. I could be like, well, I'm going to be a 5.3, so I'm going to give it a 4. No, but yeah, it's probably below average in my eyes. Don't get me wrong; it's still Twilight Zone. I'll still watch it, but it's not one of my.
There's no twist. There's no twist in this one at all.
Yeah, the twist is he didn't get his job done. Right.
That's a good point. Yeah, like Bond described earlier, he just came down. He basically did nothing. No, and she teaches him the lesson. He doesn't help her in any way.
Right. And somehow he still gets his wings for it.
Exactly. They should have demoted him. Like, wasn't that the alternate ending you said, Jimbo? They should have went with that alternate ending.
You know what? So this was titled what? Cavender is Coming. You know what the sitcom should have been called? Cavender is Still Coming, because he hasn't got the job done right. That would have been great. That could have been your whole tagline. But yeah.
So is demotion hell then? I mean, would episode 2 be like him in hell as a newbie?
He's probably filing paperwork for all the other people or something.
No, his hell should be to watch this episode back again. That's what he gets for his demotion. Really, and he's the one that rated it the highest out of all of us. Well, yeah, I guess, maybe I wasn't hard enough.
Episode.
Usually you guys talk me up at least half a point.
Oh, no, there ain't no talking you up on this. I tried to throw in the Three Stooges to perk you up a little bit, but you couldn't even get that.
No, I mean... trying to compare the Three Stooges to this is just, So next week, or next time we record, we will be doing... Changing of the Guard.
The Changing of the Guard, which I do believe is the last episode of season 3.
It is, and you might have a box of tissues next to you because it gets pretty emotional, this episode. At least it was for me.
We'll have to talk about that next time, won't we? Look at Bond. Bond shaking his head no.
No.
This is going to be one of those episodes.
This is the anti-Dead Poet Society.
Oh, no.
Wow.
Oh, no.
Wow.
That's why I liked it, because there's a lot of themes from Dead Poet Society in it.
It's going to be ugly next time we record. I can already...
No.
Well, I guess you'll have to tune in and listen.
You have to talk Eric off a cliff next week and get your wings, Bond. Right?
Man.
Well,
now I'm scared.
The Cinema Podcast. If you'd like to reach us, you can reach out to us, any of us on Messenger, or post something in the Facebook group. We'd love to have you. We love to interact with people. Bond's pretty funny at times.
Wow, that was a backhanded compliment.
We don't hold that against him.
I gave him a 4.5.
I give you 4 fingers and a thumb. Whack. But yeah, any closing comments, fellas?
Nope. Let's. I'm ready to get to the tragedies. Let's get the last episode under our belt.
For the award show.
I can't wait for that, because that's always brings about strife and arguments. Well, I think this episode's coming to a close, and that's a wrap.
And
cut.
A word to the wise now, to any and all who might suddenly feel the presence of a cigar-smoking helpmate who takes bank books out of thin air. If you're suddenly aware of any such celestial aids, it means that you're under the beneficent care of one Harmon Cavender, guardian angel. And this message from the Twilight Zone. Lots of luck.
Zone.